Hey, this is Adam Pry with Danegrid Arcade and ArcadeHeroes.com. Just changing one of my answers from the Classic Game Room interview. Really thank Mark for that opportunity. But as sometimes happens, you say something and then when you hear it played back, you regret what you said or just figure you can word it better. So hopefully that's what I can do right here. The question was asking about what the state of the modern arcade is. And what I would rather say about that is that how it's evolved over the years, it's kind of come full circle over time. It evolved into the ticket redemption centers like Chuck E. Cheese that you see, but some of them have grown up. You have Dave & Buster's, which is popular. They have over 57 locations in the States. Chuck E. Cheese is still pretty big. They have over 500 locations and pretty much the largest arcade chain in the world, but there are other chains out there. Namco Cybertainment, I think they have over 80 locations. Tilt, I'm not sure how many they have exactly. Internationally, there's one called Time Zone, which has over 220, and they've been expanding over the past year or so. There's a German one that has over 170, but I don't remember what their name is. But either way, there's a lot of chains, and some of them have used ticket redemption to get ahead, some have used food, or a combination of both. But also the classic arcade style, it's been coming back. On Arcade Heroes over the past year and a half, I've reported on dozens of new locations where it's just video arcades. You've got the Galloping Ghost Arcade, you have Fun Spot, Pinball Wizard Arcade in Pelham, New Hampshire, Pinballs Arcade in Austin, Texas, let's see, Strikers Arcade in Oregon, Arcade Odyssey, Miami, Florida, Ground Control in Portland, Oregon, Atomic Arcade here in Salt Lake City. There's a new one about to open up in Boise, Idaho. There's one that just opened up in Wisconsin outside of Madison called Rossi's Vintage Arcade and Pizzeria. A few more have been opening up in Illinois, the Underground Retrocade and No Limit Arcade. And so there's, I'd say it's come full circle because there's a lot of people that, whether it's due to nostalgia or something else, opening up these large arcades that have a lot to offer to them. And now obviously if emulation was good enough for everybody, or just Xbox Live Arcade, then places like this wouldn't exist or do well. But there's something that you lose if you're just playing the software. Like a true coin-op arcade game, it's about the hardware as well. That's an essential part of what an arcade game is, because you can do a lot with hardware that you're restricted to when it comes to a phone or even a home console to a degree. With an arcade, you can manipulate the screen, you can manipulate the sound in different ways. With the home thing, you kind of have to appeal to all sorts of hardware setups, different TVs, different sound systems, but in an arcade you can make that tailored to one specific type of experience that you want to give for the arcade, and of course the controls as well. That's why light gun games are so popular, making these gigantic guns like we have on Terminator Salvation, or there's or racing games are really popular in the industry because they have all of the controls right there, and it's a lot better than what you get with like your Logitech thing at home. Not that that's bad, but I've seen people that end up creating arcade-like cabinets to hold their Logitech controls down because it's just not the same. And so what arcades have evolved into is become more and more of a simulator experience. Now I know some people don't really enjoy that. They prefer the old style cabinet with just the joysticks, and that's fine. But you're really getting some of that too as well. The Pac-Man Battle Royale, it uses joysticks, uses a cocktail cabinet, just a different kind of experience that they've only released for arcades. And also you've got improving online stuff. Yeah, of course online is going to be different in an arcade because you don't really need a huge online community to access when you can play with somebody right there on the machine already, but more and more games are offering things like online leaderboards. The new Big Buck HD, which has just come out, allows you to create an account that's a lot like Xbox Live, where you can make a friends list, you can track your stats and achievements, you can also post your achievements to Facebook or Twitter, and you can win cash too. It allows you to compete in real time with people at other locations, and you can do like a cash pot sort of thing out of that. And arcades can also create competitions between each other, and so you're going to start seeing more and more of that. There's a new arcade game which hasn't been announced yet, but I know of that uses QR codes which you scan with your smartphone, and then you can use that information to post to any social media website that's out there. And so arcades do have their advantages even today, where games are everywhere, even in people's pockets. There's a level of technology that they can take advantage of that works with your pocket phone or other ideas. Let's Go Island 3D by Sega uses auto-stereoscopic 3D, so you don't need glasses to get the 3D effect, as just one example. Or there's wind effects and other things that they've been experimenting with. And so overall, that's how I would change my answer. When I mentioned other venues that you find them, it's just, I'd say it goes to the appeal of arcades. And really anywhere that has a waiting area can use a game or two. It's not necessarily the reason you go there, but it's just an enhancement. Obviously for them is adding a little extra revenue, making themselves a little cooler, not the reason to go there, but still overall there's plenty that arcades can do that provides a unique experience to people out there. So that would be my changed answer, I suppose. Take it for what it's worth. But again, thanks to Mark at Classic Game Room for that. I had a lot of fun doing that, and hope to do things with him in the future as well. And thanks for watching.